This is John Paul Rye. I'm coming from Tokyo, Japan. Some people call me today, talking about Pablo Hidalgo, which also makes me think about Ryan Johnson, John Campia, Kathleen Kennedy, and all these people who are on higher levels of the media can't take criticism. You know what? Even if it is sexist, trolling, nostalgic criticism, you're supposed to take criticism, okay? You have to be the professional. And if you can't take criticism, that's a bad sign for you, and that reflects poorly on you. It's the internet. Of course, there's going to be backlash and nasty things being said. That's what it is. What you do is you ignore that, you apologize for whatever you said, whatever you think went wrong, you apologize to the fans that were upset, and you move on, and you'll be a better person. But apparently, Pablo Hidalgo can't do that, and he's got some drama going on Twitter we're going to take a look at right now. Here we see Data Racer, and I've got him linked in my description almost all the time because I know he's always pumping out great information for us, so shout out to him. 2 shout outs, here we go. Lucasfilm's Pablo Hidalgo called Star Wars fans shitty assholes and shitheads, then locked his account. He's been retweeting a SJW that calls Star Wars fans racist, sexist, incel, misogynist hate group. Good luck explaining this when episode 9 flops at the box office. This is exactly what I'm saying, man. Even if Star Wars fans were racist, sexist, incel, misogynist hate groups, you would still say something like, we're sorry you didn't like the movie, and this was the best piece of work we tried, our best, something like that. You guys know what I'm getting at. You say something like that. You don't call people these things, and if someone does, you fire that person. This is not a professional. So I know a lot of you guys did not like Benioff and Weiss's ending to Game of Thrones, and I didn't either. I'm not defending it. It was done very poorly, but at least they handled themselves like professionals. You cannot take that away from them. From what I understand, they were very quiet. They didn't quite apologize, but they just took the backlash and they kind of played it in the middle. They didn't say, well, it's all these trolls on the internet, things like that. I think there was one thing they kind of laughed about, how they were going to get backlash or something. But, you know, they didn't attack the fans. They didn't go crazy. They didn't call fans sexist. They didn't say, you hate women or whatever. You know, they just took it like men, basically. And that is why I'll save some respect for them. But here at Lucasfilms, looks like we got people taking it like man babies, you could say. So Pablo Hidalgo says, remember, fandom is optional. Like what you like. You don't have to share with anyone, let alone assholes. So apparently, I guess, like, I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole because I think that The Last Jedi is absolutely terrible, and The Force Awakens. And I express my opinion on that. And yeah, sometimes I make some jokes, I throw up some memes, things like that. But all in all, when I make a video about it, I'm pretty serious, and, well, aside from Rose Tico. But the point is, I've got like 90% serious videos criticizing it, and those are the videos that should be taken seriously. Of course, there's some stress from it. People love the franchise for decades. It's not so easy just to completely turn off your emotions, but I don't go crazy. I don't personally insult these people in this way, okay? And if I do, I've got a real backing for it. You know, you can't just call, like, Star Wars fans in general these names. That's like 5% of the fan base. They're out there. I'm not denying they're not out there. There's definitely some F-bombs, some terrible things being said, but that's like the 10%, 5%, something like that. People that don't have their own channels, their own websites, their own media, people who just have nothing to lose and just let it all out. You know, but a large part of the fan base that has their own media, small YouTube channel, things like that, we're very civil, and we're usually calm and collected when we explain things like I am now. I'm just explaining things, how I feel, basically. Dr. Rushard Hound says, that's why even though I'm a diehard Star Wars fan myself, I absolutely cannot stand the Star Wars fan base. There are some of the most whiny, toxic man babies I've ever seen. It's not about whiny and toxic, it's about truly being hurt over what happened. People can't really understand the difference between toxic and whiny and genuinely being hurt over something and feeling disrespected after pouring your lifetime of money and time and TLC and artwork into something and have it just used as some kind of experiment for 3 new characters that are absolute cardboard cutouts. They're just not good characters no matter how you cut it. You can't explain to me what's good about Finn's story arc and his character and what's interesting. There's nothing. He starts interesting, but completely loses it. Rey, she's, well, gets everything handed to her. There's no stress. There's no fear. There's nothing to Rey where I'm scared to see what happens next. Shitty Star Wars post says the fandom is sickening. So, what you guys should do is get out of the fandom, which I guess Pablo Hidalgo is doing by blocking his account. But these other people, if you don't like it, fine, leave the fandom. Most of us are cool. We have made good friends here and things like that. We're not trying to just hate on everything and everybody. Not liking Rey is fine, but there's absolutely no denying that a lot of people that dislike her are borderline misogynists. And those same misogynists, unfortunately we have to say the same thing over and over and over because there's no response, is that the same misogynists also like Sarah Connor from Terminator, Beatrice Kiddo from Kill Bill, a ton of women from Game of Thrones. I even like Katniss from The Hunger Games. I think she's awesome. You know, there's so many women in cinema I liked and in books and novels and things like that. If I was a misogynist or even borderline, I couldn't like those things, and I've liked those things for decades. I'm not just saying that now. I'm not just watching those movies now and saying, hey, I do like those. I've liked those since I was, like, I don't know, under 10 years old. Even stuff like Tomb Raider. I'm not a huge Tomb Raider fan, but she's got a lot of these same fans that like Star Wars. And if they're misogynists, they wouldn't like Tomb Raider. They wouldn't play a video game with the woman in the lead. So, you know, their point is really, really nullified by the fact that us toxic, sexist haters actually like so many of these women throughout our history of at least like 40 years, 30 years on the planet. Well, if you're younger, then 20 years, but you get my drift. Oh, but remember, the Phantom Menace isn't a hate group, so what do I hate? What exactly am I hating? And you know what? If I hate a movie, but not the people and not the actors, it's okay to actually hate something. It's just a thing. It's not like it's alive, you know. Do I hate Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson? I mean, to a certain extent, but that's because of the way they treated the fan base from day one. If Rian Johnson came out, he was a modest guy, he said, wow, I'm sorry, you know, half of you guys feel that way, or a lot of you guys feel that way, you know, I could have done this better, and he was a modest guy, of course I wouldn't hate the guy. Of course I wouldn't make jokes about him. I'd be like, you know, I wonder why he made the movie like that. But the same thing goes for Lucas with the prequels. I wonder why he did it. I wonder what he was thinking aside from obviously selling out to kids. But I didn't hate him like, I hate you, Lucas, you made this movie. His attitude was okay. He fixed Jar Jar in episode 2, and we moved on. So it's really a reflection of the attitude of the people who make the movie and the company. And this is the attitude that's terrible that Pablo Hidalgo has. Yet there's always endless complaining from you all about Star Wars not being white enough nowadays. I haven't seen anybody in a Phantom Menace channel you consider, whatever you consider Phantom Menace, say there should be more white people in Star Wars directly, or even hint towards it, or anything like that. You know, what I want to see was Finn be the Jedi. So, I mean, that makes me sexist then. Now I can't say that because now I don't like Rey being the Jedi because it's a woman. But if I said I want to see Rey be the Jedi, I'm racist against blacks because it's not Finn. You know, there's no winning. Whichever one I pick, I'm a racist or a sexist or something like that. I can't judge a character. I can't just be a person. I can't just be a normal person. I have to somehow think everything should be exactly even Steven, or, you know, they're going to pick out the flaws in my opinions. Let's see some comments, and I guess we'll see some familiar faces. Let's see. Iron Wolf says, funny how that works. Thank you, Iron Wolf. Ruin Johnson, I made a documentary about Pablo and his Twitter game. That's pretty good. I will retweet that for you. Super good Pixel. Cool guy. Thank you, man. I think he follows me. Captain Codfish says, the movie won't flop to pull Captain Marvel on it. And yeah, you know, I'm thinking maybe they'll boost box office somehow, some way. I don't know. They're not going to report it under $1 billion. I doubt if it makes under $1 billion they'll report that. They're going to report at least $1 billion no matter what. But we'll see, based on toy sales, hype, things like that, reviews. We'll have a good idea. If it comes out like 1.9 billion and there's like no hype, toys aren't selling, it's just kind of like dead on the shelves, DVD does poorly, then yeah, it's going to be a thought in my mind that maybe that's embellished. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here. If you're still watching, let me know what you think of my playroom. I don't record here usually because it's like a little messy, but at the same time, it's kind of cool. It's bright because I'm filming during the day. I usually don't have the chance to. And I did a shout out in the beginning of the video, so let's do another one now. What the hell? Shout out to Geo Skywalker. Been seeing him around here, dropping some comments, things like that. Thank you, sir. And thank you, sir, again. Doing shout outs, special thanks. I'm repeating myself. That means we're closing it up here. Click that subscribe button, smash it, whatever you gotta do, get subscribed, and I will see you next time.
If you are not subscribed to this channel, The Entertainment Hacker, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button now.